What's going on? It's Justin here with From Zero to Studio, and today we're going to see if you can get quality recordings with the cheapest gear possible. I searched for the lowest priced drum mic set I could find by a name brand manufacturer, and I found one on sale for just under $100. It's normally priced at $130 for the 7 mic set, so it must be garbage, right? I mean, I'm typically using 10 microphones to mic up a drum kit, and the total cost for them all comes up to about $4,000. With that much of a price difference, there's absolutely no way this budget-friendly mic set can even come close to capturing a good drum sound. Or can it? In this video, I'm going to put these to the test against my drum mics, and together, we'll find out if I've wasted my money over the years. This is the Behringer BC1200 professional 7-piece drum microphone set. Opening the included hardshell case, it feels very sturdy, and everything inside looks well protected. The kit comes with 1 kick mic, 4 snare and tom mics, and 2 overhead mics. Each of the mics also has an attached threaded support for ease of mounting on mic stands. Pulling out the kick mic, it's a little smaller than I imagined, but it doesn't feel cheap by any means. The snare and tom mics are a comparable size to other drum mic sets, and they also seem well built. The overhead mics are really tiny, but I'm trying not to judge by appearance here. We'll let our ears make the judgment. Also included are 4 mic clamps, so you can clip the mics onto the rim of your drum, and they seem like a quality clamp. Last but not least, we have 2 windscreens for the overhead mics. These simply slide over and have a pretty snug fit, which means they're not going to fall off mid-use. Although I kind of laughed to myself about the sizes of some of these mics, I'm actually very impressed with the build quality. Nothing feels cheap by any means. I mean, even if these mics don't produce any sound, it would still kind of be a fair price for everything you're getting. All joking aside, I'm ready to hear what these things sound like compared to my go-to mics, so let's get them set up on the kit. Just a side note, I'm not going to have any processing like EQ, compression, or anything on the tracks. So what you're going to hear is going to be the raw audio of the drum being captured by the microphone. I also want to give a fair A-B comparison, so I'm not going to be recording any of my room mics, hi-hat and ride mics, or anything extra like that. We're only going to use the mics that can be swapped out with a Behringer mic. Starting out with the kick drum, here's an Audix D6. Now onto the Behringer mic. I'm honestly not impressed with the sound of the Behringer mic. There's not a ton of low end and it's very boxy feeling. There's also not as much click as the D6 either. I do, however, think that with a little EQ, we could shape the sound of it better. So I'm not spending a bunch of time here, but I boosted some lows and highs and cut out a bunch of the middle. Let's hear them back to back again with the EQ on the Behringer mic. This actually gives a pretty comparable sound of the D6 and would be a great starting point. Let's jump over to the snare. The snare mic is pretty on par with the SM57. It is a bit boomy and has some kind of hollow resonance to it, and maybe that's coming from the sound resonating inside the microphone casing or something else like that. But it's pretty close, and you could still get a good sounding snare in a mix with this. Moving over to toms. These mics are pretty close to the Sennheisers and did a decent job at capturing the tom sound. I mean, they're a little boxy sounding and maybe not as bright, but that's nothing a little EQ couldn't fix. I did feel like the resonance of the toms cut a little short though. With the Sennheisers, I could hear every fine detail as the drum was ringing out until it stopped, but the Behringer mics almost sounded like they had a gate on them cutting that sound off. It's so minor of a difference though that it wouldn't impact the overall sound of your kit. It's just something I noticed when comparing them back to back. Let's pull up the overheads. Right off the bat, I noticed that the Behringers don't have as much low end. I don't feel the kick as much, so I would definitely do an EQ boost there. They also have a bit more high end, and they might be ever so slightly brittle sounding in those upper frequencies, but they don't sound bad by any means. They do a solid job at capturing the overall sound of the kit. Let's throw the rest of the mics back in and hear the full raw drum sound from my mics compared to the raw drum sound of the Behringers. Overall, these mics do a pretty solid job at recording a drum kit. I mean, there might be a few things here and there that I think could be improved upon, but most of them could be addressed with some simple EQ adjustments. It's kind of hard to believe that you can get everything included in this mic kit with good mics, a solid build quality, and at such a low price point, but you can. So if you're trying to get some drum mics without breaking the bank for your studio, band, church, or anywhere else you might need to mic a drum kit, from what I see in here, this Behringer set will do a great job. Now, as you're working on improving your recording and mixing skills, if you want a guide that'll walk you through every step of the process from songwriting and recording up through mixing and mastering, you can download the Roadmap to a Radio-Ready Song. This guide covers 5 steps that'll help you take your song from sounding like a demo to sounding pro, and you can download it absolutely free as my gift to you by going to FromZeroToStudio.com/roadmap or by clicking the link below in the description, and you can start improving how you're creating and capturing your music. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I'll see you on another video soon.